where I can talk to the Lord, truly talk to him. And that is when I'm cutting the grass. Because it's only me and the Lord in that lawnmower. And in my thoughts, the Lord gave me a word. I finished cutting that grass and I ran inside and took a shower and I went to study. And he took me to this scripture, and it coming from Hebrew, the 11th chapter. But he went one verse up. He went to verse number 17, to number 7. And it says, by faith, Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved fear, prepared an ark to the savings of his house, by the which he commanded the world to become heir of the righteousness which is by faith. In my studies, I was saying, Lord, why did you send me to study that word? But you know, the Lord will hear you when it's time to be heard. Mm-hmm. And the person that called me was a pastor friend of mine that pastors over in Milton, Florida. And he gave me a very short word. He said, he told you what to preach. So why are you doubting him? Mm-hmm. And I said, Pastor, you right. So I went to my studies. According to some of the theologicals of our day, we are living in our last days. Mm-hmm. These biblical scholars, their opinion, scriptures of evidence, signs of the time. According to these signs, God's judgment is drawing near. Any person with a degree of intelligence can readily see that these days were prophesied in the Bible. These days of which we see husbands against wives. These days when we see wives against husbands. These days when we see children against parents. These days when we see parents against children. We see clear evidence early in the part of the 21st century when gentlemen, ladies, boys and girls were riding in Virginia and DC area, and they was gunned down by a lone assassin. But see, Jesus talked about these times. He said, behold, the time will come when they shall put out of their synagogues and kill you. Yeah. And think that God, you're doing God a service. But those of us who study the word of history, read the signs of time. Can you see the kingdom waxing and waning? Governments are failing. War clouds are rising everywhere. But even when we talk about peace, there's still plenty wars. These are the beginnings of the sorrow, but the end is not yet. Man has within an atomic arsenal to destroy the world within hours. Yet still spending billions of dollars on a weapon of war. But there is an answer. The answer is just get to church on time. Yes. Well, you might be saying, Reverend Lee, what you mean by get to church on time? I'm glad you asked. Because Noah was about 500 years old when there's a population on the earth. They were sinful and grieved very hard of God. God, through the preaching of Noah, gave mankind 120 years to mend their ways. But when the Lord saw that the intent was wickedness, why are you still here? See, when you hear that word, you got to move. Don't stand there, because you have an opportunity to get to church on time. But see, we don't think about things like that. But see, God did. One day, the clouds hung low over the land. God pulled the plug on earth, and the water came, and beneath all and above, all those who failed to hear the preacher were drowned. Why? They failed to get to church on time. See, contrary to our beliefs, Noah proved that he stood alone in society. The world was a spiritual bankrupt. The record is that Noah, being warned of God of things not seen, yet moved without fear, prepared an ark to the savings of his house. Your prayer should be, get me to church on time.
Amen.
You should want to get to church on time, because the church represents the body of Christ. It was founded by Christ on one day in Philippi. He asked the disciples, who do men say that I am? The Son of Man am. They informed Christ that some had said he was John the Baptist, Jeremiah, Elijah, or one of the prophets. At that point, Jesus asked, but whom do you say that I am? It was Simon Peter who said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. I want you to get to church on time, because